Actually, when they're playing at these events, they're playing so many defensive styles, so many long pimples, short pimples, and I think that's sort of where they gain that extra exposure to then come back in and really try and dominate in the girls' events here.
All right, and we've just started, so I'm going to hand the mic over to you, Evie. You can keep the commentary going throughout the match.
Brilliant. Yes, you can see there Ella's already looking to get in straight away off that serve, so Tia's going to probably try and keep it a little bit tighter just to stop her getting in. Ooh. And there you saw it, Ella stepping in a little bit too early and Tia catching her out in that crossover. Yeah, good start from Tia. Two good serves to give her a 2-point lead. But Ella is straight back in there, nice forehand down the line, catching Tia a little bit off guard there. Yes, Tia really taking her time, just making sure she's ready for that next point. Nice control there from Ella, really trying to sort of catch that corner. And Ella takes a 3-point lead. Really looking really confident, really trying to sort of get in first, keep that ball attacking and put Tia on that back foot. Nice, and again, switching positions there, catching her a little bit wider in that forehand, really making sure she's making her move.
That was going efficient.
Yeah, she's a few steps around the court here, trying to get the ball back into the court.
Get the steps in.
Absolutely. Really good play from Ella there. So just Tia really sort of looking to attack that ball, and Ella nice control shot down the line. I think both girls are really sort of trying to use that first ball to really attack and try and keep ahead of the opponent. Good. You'll see there lots of movement around the table. Tia's really trying to sort of mix up those placements, catch Ella out a little bit to give her a bit of a weaker ball, but Ella is, she's still there. She's still sort of catching that ball. Very nice. And that's there, you see with Tia's backhand, the use of the pimples a little bit flatter, a little bit faster. Really good from Ella. Really, really good. I think for the whole tournament, sort of for the under-21s event, you can really see that focus on her face, really sort of hunting that ball, and I think it's probably been a great start to a tournament for her. Lots of confidence as she's built up the wins throughout the rounds, and it doesn't look like any signs of taking that foot off the pedal now.
Absolutely not. Yeah, she doesn't seem to be having much trouble with those pimples at all. She's reading it really well. She's not overplaying against her, which I know I definitely do when when you get into panic mode with the pimples. But yeah, not a problem for Ella at all.
No, I think she's really using the placement really well. So she's not sort of playing 2 or 3 or 4 balls to the backhand. She's using that wide forehand, the crossover. So I think that's making it a bit easier for her, where she's not sort of having to go more and more and panic. She's very very much under control in those rallies, and just looking to recover, ready for that next ball.
I've noticed even her serve is quite aggressive at times. You know, it's got a bit of like side spin on it. It's like straight away. It's attack, and I think sometimes that can take a player off guard a little bit, because they're not expecting it straight from the off. They expect to be able to push a couple or get back into it. It's like, no, not giving you a second to think about it.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of where you can see Tia is a bit caught off guard, where she's really trying to kind of get into the rallies, because Ella is just from as soon as she's served or she's received, she's on that shot and she's ready to go. So it'll be interesting to see how Tia now responds, sort of one set down, how she kind of bounces back and gets ready to hopefully try and go 1-1. You'll see there now that Tia, she used that backhand. Sort of Ella played a little bit of a slower ball, and Tia could then get in and use that forehand, as we discussed at the start of the match. So it is really great to see two new faces, I should say, in a under-21s final. As we mentioned, they're junior players still, so still many years to go in this event. But it is really great to see.
Just the standard that they're playing at the age that they are is really impressive. And definitely bodes well from an international level, you know, if they're playing at this level domestically.
Yeah, definitely. It's everything that they can then take in and use when they're at WTT events, and obviously looking ahead, the European Championships is probably the pinnacle of every season for a youth player. So they're still fighting for their spots as well. So it's all to play for here. Yeah, really good from Tia there. So straight away she knew Ella was sort of giving that longer serve, and she's straight in. Look at that ball. Yeah, good control. You can see that the first set didn't really rattle her. She's taken that time out. She's used that to reflect, and she's back in, looking to get the win here.
It's a different game, isn't it?
Yeah, Tia's really slowed it down. The first set was quite fast, Ella controlling the rallies, whereas now Tia's really slowed it down. You can see there she made that mistake, but she's looking to touch the ball a little bit more, stopping Ella getting in. Really good. The rallies are really great. Ella toweling down there, so every 6 points you can towel down, just take that little bit of extra time just to control yourself, reset, good to go. Really good placement there from Tia, not too wide for forehand, just catching her in that middle, and Ella just the timing slightly off, but it's given Tia a 5-point lead now. See, both girls don't look too nervous, look very calm, very focused, so very nice backhand punches we mentioned. Those short pimples really tough to read, and catching Ella down the line as well. So we go into 1-1. I think it's a long battle to go.
Always blinking, you miss it. That backhand punch. For a second, I didn't know if it.
I would hate to be playing against that, because it's very very quick, very
really
flat.
Difficult. And part of it's all about how you set yourself up for those shots, isn't it? You've got to really be thinking when you're serving, where do I want the return to go? How do I give myself the best chances of getting that attack in?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's definitely something that I can see Tiana's setting herself up
Yeah.
for, on the backhand, like where is Ella?
Yeah.
Right in the opposite direction.
Yeah, definitely. You can. I think you kind of saw her there. She was serving. She was ready for that backhand punch, and I think it's those shots where you fully commit to as well. There was you could see straight away in that lead up. She was going for that backhand punch and said, "Yeah, probably wouldn't want to be Ella receiving that shot." So,
and, one of my teammates at Women's British League, she always says conviction. You've got to go with conviction.
Definitely.
Conviction every time. You can't go into a shot half knowing what you're going to do. You just got to go for it.
Backhand used to be my shot, so playing how Tia does that used to be my favourite bit. The ball comes up a little bit more and you put it away. So so Ella straight away, she's first point in. She's already looking to play that little bit faster shot, kind of bring that pace back up to the pace that she likes, keeping her in control of the rallies. Oh, fantastic play from Ella there. Really catching Tia wide, making her move. You can see sort of the difference. Tia wants it a little bit slower. Ella really wants that faster pace. So I think that's going to be whoever comes on top is going to be controlling those bits. What was your favourite shot then as you played?
Backhand loop, definitely.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately not my most consistent.
Sometimes they're the funnest shots though, aren't they?
I did like it when it would, if it heavy backspin into my backhand and
nice
I completely whip it up.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it would just kind of hang a little bit, but wouldn't be able to get it back. So that was always my favourite if it went on.
Really good. Yeah, so there Ella recovering. I saw previous point serving in the net, but didn't stop her. She reset. You can see now she's taking that time just to towel down. Probably from the lights, the environment, everything. Just wanting to take that little bit extra just to focus. There's a slight little clip of the net there, but again Ella hunting that longer ball. She just tried to mix it up and use that slower spin. It really is neck and neck.
Do you know what the ages of the players are?
Yep, so Tia is 15, turning 16 this year, and Ella, I believe, is 15 as well. So both similar ages. I think Tia's 16 before Ella. But again, both those youth players probably trained against each other many times on our camps. So they kind of get to know each other as they're on the training camps. Obviously you're always analysing the players, whether if you meet them or anything like that. So they would have either played against each other, trained against each other. So it's you can see there they kind of know each other's the tactics and they've got the tactics for it. So
it's interesting that when you go to a camp or something, is it a specific thing for each one that you're working on, or is it quite holistic? You're trying to figure out what the player needs, or how does that kind of side of it work?
It's a bit of a mixture. So obviously the players are developing their own games. Coaches set some exercises. There's some also individual exercises. They have multi-ball, so many balls. Being sort of the coach feeding those balls and the players sort of focusing on speed and movement, reactions, things like that. So it's kind of pretty much a more individual, but also every exercise that there's something that each player can get out of it as well. So it's also not just on the table, it's off the table fitness that they work on. We also do sort of holistic development, so we provide sort of workshops and things like that as well. So it's really a whole athlete training that they get when they're on the camps. You see there that little fist in the air for Ella. Really important point. 1 point ahead now, and yeah, she's looking to get that game lead. Oh, Tia's not easing up though. Oh, nice. Really good shot there from Tia. I thought with that faster serve there from Ella, a little bit more aggressive on the pace. I thought it might cause a bit of problems for Tia, but she was ready for it. And there, Ella's not giving up easily there. Nice forehand down the line, catching Tia out. 9-9, battle of the serves now.
That little drop that Ella did was
really good
nice.
placement. It's just, yeah, that last shot's just rushed it a little bit too much, but the placement there was perfect. And yeah, Tia very well there, catching it out and still getting across to reach that ball as well. Oh,
Bit of frustration there from Ella.
yes, yeah.
It's hard when you're fighting so much for it. And I was saying before in the earlier games, everybody here wants it so much.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
especially for these guys where it's their first time being in the final position. You know, emotions are going to be high.
Yeah.
You play into your best ability, and mentally you'll be ticking over
Yeah,
as well a little bit. And it's like
Yeah.
trying to put that aside and just focus on what's happening each point. It's quite difficult.
yeah, definitely.
thing
And
to do.
I mean, for Tia, it's her first ever English national championships as well.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Why did I think that?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
why did
the
I
first
think
first ever. So I think for her, it's that little bit of extra. She really wants to get that first title under her belt as well. So yeah, all to play for, and you can see there it's very close matches, close sets. Tia there just sort of keeping that composure a little bit more. And I think you've got Dad in the corner as well, so he's giving her some tips just to try and get her across that finishing line. Ella's being coached by Ollie Tyndall at Grantham College, so again, someone who's working with her regularly. And yeah, let's see what this game comes through. Oh, nice dig there from Tia. A little bit closer to that white line. Just sometimes Ella's a little bit too close to that table, so catching her out and causes her to lean back that little bit more.
Is Tianer recovering from an injury? I'm just noticing the leg. Is it leg brace?
I don't think an injury as such. I think she's grown obviously as youth players. They're continually growing, and that comes with some issues around sort of the joints as you're growing. I remember I think I shot up between the ages of 14 and 15, and yeah, felt a little bit like Bambi on the court. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a little bit more that. I'm not seeing too much that affects her performance, so I think it's just a little bit more of just being on the cautious side.
Yeah. That makes sense. More of a preventative
Yes,
measure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Tia played I think it might have been her first ever WTT senior feeder, so she participated in Manchester, so she's really starting to get that experience on an international level, not only from a youth side but that senior side as well, and I think that just helps everything with her progression as she transitions through juniors all the way into the seniors and hopefully continue to play for a long time. See that little bit of frustration from Ella, just really, you can see she's really wanting to win that point. Both girls really trying to go for that winner.
Tianer seems to be playing a little bit more aggressively this game. She's not slowing her down as much. Maybe she needs to a little bit. That second game where she got a really good lead on her was because she was touching a little bit more and playing more her game. And I mean, they're so close still in this third match, but she just seems to be getting rushed off her feet a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think it's that variation you can see there. She, as soon as she kept it a little bit tighter, Ella sort of gave her that little bit of a weaker ball, and she could follow up. So, yeah, it's probably a little bit to do with nerves, sort of maybe wanting to win the point. But then you see there, fantastic backhand punch, making it really difficult for Ella, especially against those pimples. I think a lot of it is that variation, mixing it up, whether it's one rally a slower ball, one rally a faster ball. It really stops the opponent from sort of knowing what you're going to do. But again, probably a little bit nervous, just making sure she wanting to win those points.
In theory, you can have it all planned out in your head, and then you get onto that court, and you feel like people are watching, and depending on your personality or how well you handle that kind of pressure, it can make a big difference.
Definitely. I mean, there's been many a times where I've gone into a match with a game plan, and then that's gone out the window as soon as you start hitting the ball. So, yeah. But I think here Tia's dad's probably giving her a little bit of some calming tips, just to really make sure she's focused. And oh, fantastic. What a rally. Really, really good. Both girls really dropping off actually a little bit from the table, but really still giving that pace and trying to make it difficult for each other. Oh, fantastic. You can see there Ella really catching that placement. So she kind of went back up to staying a bit closer to the table, and almost giving that flatter ball back to Tia. I believe she's come back to settling the score at 8-8. These are the bits as you get a little bit closer to the end of that set, sort of you start thinking probably for Tia, she's thinking I'm 2 points away now, and for Ella, she's thinking I've got to get this set. So yeah, I think both girls now are kind of handling those bits, and you can see there Tia still keeping it nice and tight. She's really focused on finishing this set. Oh, really, really good from Ella. Fantastic placement, really catching Tia out wide, both sides, backhand and forehand there, and see giving it back to a 9-9. Very close. The battle of the serves now. It's who can. Oh no, there's a timeout. Ella's taking a timeout, probably a few minutes or so, just to compose herself, really sort of get ready, think about what serve she's going to do, and probably stop Tia from getting in. So could be interesting to next few points.
Is it a good time for a timeout, do you think?
Yeah, probably. I think with Ella, probably Ollie's probably telling her a few tactics, that especially using that wide to wide movement. I think for Ella, it's just sort of keeping that calm. So actually, it's taking that minute to really just sort of reset and looking at what you need to do. For Tia, it's probably a little bit more sort of management, so just what's she going to do off the serve, kind of having that confidence to go in for that shot. And as we said, is she going to touch the ball? Is she going to keep it a bit tighter? Yeah, so both girls kind of have different tactics now. So it's going to be seeing whose tactics come out on top. You can see there Tia just taking a little bit longer. Ella's ready to go. Sometimes that's the more daunting bit, waiting for your opponent to get to the table and you're ready to serve. Oh, unlucky there from Ella. Really good recovery, especially off that sort of net ball. Still recovered, and But yeah, Tia, really good placement, just catching her out in that crossover.
It's so important to go for those, even if you don't know, don't think you're going to get it. Just reaching for it off the net.
Oh, and Tia's done it. Fantastic. First ever, not only under 21 champion, but first ever national title for Tia. It's fantastic. Really, really good. As I thought, really great to see both girls in the final. Fantastic match to start off the national championships with.
Tianer, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us how it feels to be the national under-21 champion.
It feels amazing because it obviously wasn't easy to win this tournament, and it's my first nationals. So I'm really, really happy to win. Well, I had 2 5-set matches, and then the final was also very close. I had to fight for every point, so I'm just happy that the hard work pays off.
And you actually had to make a comeback in certainly the
Yeah.
quarter-final. You were 2-1 down,
Yeah.
I think. So how do you approach those difficult moments?
I think after being like 2-1 down twice, I was 2-1 down in the semis as well. I just fought for it. Like I just played shots that I should have been playing, but I didn't. And then if it's just like when you're confident, you can get your stuff on the table.